You're spending money on ads, money on content, maybe money on SEO, and yet your phone isn't ringing the way it should. Your form submissions are dry. Your website has traffic, but it feels like people are just window shopping. Here's the question nobody is asking. What if the traffic isn't the problem? What if the real leak in your business is what happens after the click? Today we are talking about conversion rate optimization, CRO. And before you scroll past this thinking it's too technical, stay with me. Because what I'm about to walk you through could literally double your revenue without spending a single extra dollar on traffic. Let's get into it. Real quick, if you're building a business, leading a team, or trying to scale something that actually works, hit subscribe. This show is not motivation, it's not hype, it's operator thinking, how businesses actually grow when the cameras are off. Welcome to Notebook of a COO. I want to start with a stat that should stop you cold. Meta ad costs are up 61% year over year. TikTok up 185%. Google CPMs up 75%. That means the same eyeballs that used to cost you $1 now cost you significantly more. And that number is not going down. So if your business model depends on cheap traffic, you are operating on borrowed time. But here's what most people miss. The solution isn't to find cheaper traffic. The solution is to make the traffic you already have work harder. That is what CRO is, and that is exactly what we are breaking down today. Let me paint you a picture. Business owner spends $5,000 a month on ads, gets traffic, gets some leads, thinks the problem is the ads, so they hire a new media buyer, tries a new creative, tests a new audience, and still, results are flat. Sound familiar? Drop a comment if you've been here before. Here is what's actually happening. The ad is doing its job. It's getting the click. The problem is what happens the second that person lands on your page. They land. They look around for about 5 seconds. They don't immediately understand what you do, who it's for, or why they should care, and they leave. Silently, without a word. And here's the part that makes this painful. 60% of people will never scroll past the top of your page. Let me say that again for people in the back of class. 60% of people will never scroll past the top of your page, which means more than half of every person who visits your website makes their entire decision based on the first thing they see. So the question is simple. What does that first thing say? If the answer is anything less than crystal clear, you are leaving money on the table every single day. And the wild part? You don't fix this by spending more. You fix this by optimizing what you already have. Let me give you the CRO framework, 4 components, practical, operator-level thinking. Part 1, the 2 levers of revenue. There are really only 2 ways to grow revenue in any business. 1, you drive more traffic. 2, you convert more of the traffic you already have. Most businesses obsess over number 1 and completely ignore number 2. Here's the math that should change your thinking. If you're getting 1,000 visitors a month and converting 2%, that's 20 customers. Double your traffic to 2,000 visitors, you get 40 customers. You also just doubled your ad spend. Now flip it. Keep traffic the same at 1,000 visitors. Double your conversion rate from 2% to 4%. You still get 40 customers, but you spent nothing extra to get there. And when you layer more traffic on top of a better converting page, every dollar you spend amplifies. That is the power of CRO. It is a multiplier on everything else you are already doing. Part 2, the above the fold rule. Here is the most important real estate on your entire website. The above the fold section, the very top of your page, what people see before they ever scroll. 2 things you need to understand about this. First, it is the only section you can guarantee with certainty that 100% of your visitors will see. 100%. Second, 60% of people never scroll past it. So the above the fold is not just important, it is the whole game. And the 2 most critical elements in that section are the headline and the image. Your headline has 5 seconds to answer 3 questions. Who is this for? What does it do? What's in it for me? And that last one is the most important. One framework I love for writing a headline is what I call the "so that" principle. Whatever your product or service does, ask yourself, so that what? You send better emails, so that you landed more inboxes, so that you close more deals, so that you generate more revenue. Keep following that chain until you hit the real outcome. That outcome is your headline. And your image? It should do the same work, visually reinforcing exactly what your headline just said. Not a stock photo of someone smiling at a laptop, something that immediately communicates what you do and who you serve. If you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't know if my headline is doing this, drop a comment. I want to hear what it says. Part 3. The value equation. Now let's talk about what actually drives someone to convert. There are 4 components, and every one of them needs to live somewhere on your page. Component 1. The dream outcome. What is the thing your audience actually wants? Not what your product does, what they want to feel, achieve, or become on the other side. For a weight loss product, it's not supplements, it's losing 30 pounds in 90 days. For a B2B SaaS tool, it's not software, it's closing more deals. Your dream outcome should be quantified wherever possible and placed immediately in your headline. Component 2. Perceived risk. The moment someone is considering buying something, a little voice in their head says, but what if it doesn't work? Your job is to quiet that voice before it gets loud. Testimonials, case studies, guarantees, free trials, no credit card required, whatever reduces the barrier, put it front and center. Adding trust elements near your price or your call to action can drive 30% lifts in conversion, just from that change alone. Component 3. Time. How long will it take to get results? The longer the perceived gap, the less valuable the thing feels. So if you can quantify it, do it. Get funded in 24 hours. Results in 30 days. Set up in 10 minutes. Close the time gap in the copy and in the design. Component 4. Effort and sacrifice. Humans are wired to want the result without the pain. Your copy should communicate explicitly how little they'll have to do to get there. We reach out to thousands of influencers so that you don't have to. That single line does enormous heavy lifting. It names the pain, it removes the burden, it positions the product as the shortcut. Work all 4 of those components into your page and you have a conversion machine. Part 4. The testing mindset. Now here's the part most people skip, and it's what separates the businesses that compound from the ones that plateau. Testing. Not random testing. Not testing everything at once. One test at a time. Consistent. Disciplined. Every week, one thing. Maybe it's a headline variation. Maybe it's a new image. Maybe it's trust badges near the CTA. The result doesn't matter as much as the habit. Because when you do this every week for 52 weeks and you stack those wins on top of each other, the compounding effect is massive. One client added trust badges above the fold near their price, 32% lift. Then they doubled down, more trust elements, closer to the moment of decision. Cumulative lift, 88% from 2 tests. And the beautiful thing about this data, it doesn't just live on your website. The headline that wins on your landing page becomes the copy in your ads. The image that converts becomes your creative. The trust element that closes the gap shows up in your sales deck. CRO isn't just a website strategy. It's market research, real-time data on what your audience actually responds to. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. You have 2 ways to grow revenue, more traffic or better conversion. And I will take better conversion every single time. Because when you fix the conversion, the traffic becomes more profitable. Your LTV CAC ratio expands. You can outspend competitors. You can acquire talent. Every dollar in becomes more efficient. So before you spend another dollar on ads, go look at your above the fold section. Ask yourself, does my headline clearly state who this is for and what outcome they'll get? Does my image reinforce that message? Have I reduced the risk of buying? Have I made the time to result feel short? Have I shown them the effort they won't have to put in? If you can't answer yes to all of those, you found your bottleneck, and fixing that changes everything. If this hits you, share it with someone who's running ads and wondering why the leads aren't converting, because the answer is almost never the ad. It's almost always the page. And if you want more episodes like this, subscribe. We drop operator level frameworks every week. No fluff, no hype, just the work. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.